You know, the worst part about doing makeup is honestly putting the nose piercing back in. Honestly, I hate it. I should be good at finding the hole. Oh, don't smile, it's harder. Right, got it. So I basically just recorded this whole thing, and I have to do it again. I've decided I'm trying to get over the fact that I literally just did all that. So this video is going to be about long distance relationships. I'm going to do some separate videos on this topic. Advice video, I can do Q&A, I can do... Honestly, I can summarise each relationship that I've had that's a long distance relationship, because in total I've had, depending on how far is long distance to you, I've had a couple. If you watched my previous videos, you know that I did come out at 18, so I dated men. I had 2, what I would call proper boyfriends. They weren't really serious, but one was more serious than the other. And one was really lovely, and he lived down the road from me because I was in high school and my mum wouldn't let me have a boyfriend, and I was like, but I want one, just because it was something that I wasn't allowed to have, and I think I wanted it more, so I had it. And he lived down the road. He's a lovely guy, props to him. I really like him, he's really nice. My other ex-boyfriend is a prick, and he's the only one that I don't like. Out of all my exes, he's the only one that I will admit that I don't like. It was only a 15-minute drive from where my mum and dad live, so that was really easy and was not a long distance relationship. However, it was very stressful on me because I was the only one driving, I was the only one that seemed to be trying, and that's weird because I'm the one that's a lesbian, but I've always been like that in relationships. To this day, I'm always the one that just so desperate to be loved. Probably, honestly, quite true. A bit sad. My first girlfriend, we came out basically together, which was a stupid idea. But initially, we met online. I basically met every single person that I've ever dated online, except 2 ex-boyfriends and my current girlfriend. If you want to know any stories, honestly, I'll probably tell you. So, right. So my first girlfriend, we met online and she just basically asked me out, and I said, yeah, sure. I was in the car park for probably half an hour, shitting myself, and I told my sister, I can't do this because it's real. The other ones weren't real. I knew they weren't real. And she's like, you have to go in. She's probably waiting for you. I hope my exes don't have this channel. Oh well. Exes be exes. Don't do that, Lauren. My ex-boyfriend was probably 20 minutes to half an hour. This girlfriend was 15-minute drive, and honestly that worked out really well. She lived with her sister. My mum didn't know about me being gay, so it was kind of the only place that we could go, so I was doing most of the driving. Unless we went out, and she would always drive, she would always make sure that like it was equal, and she was really good. Just were not compatible, and at the end of the day, I'm quite needy. I'll be the first to admit that, and if you don't want to spend time with me, it's not going to work. So because we only saw each other about once a week, because we were both studying, and she just needed a lot of space, and I wasn't really good with that. I was just like, I can help you through things, and nope, she didn't want me. So I was like, right, well, bye. So we broke up, but we were on really good terms, and I think we're friends. Don't really know at this point. I like her. She, in my eyes, is my friend. So honestly, every single one of them, I don't have a bad thing to say, and I would be friends with every single one of them. I'm a very forgiving and loyal person, you know. And honestly, I kind of broke up with a couple of them, so. And then, I'm trying to think what order. I saw this girl, we were never actually together, and she was about 40 minutes away. She was on the other side of the city, and I was always the one driving, I was always the one making the effort, which is just, seems to be a theme. I don't know how my car is still running at this point, to be honest. So yeah, and we never really dated. But again, my mum and dad are really supportive now, but at the start they kind of made it clear that my girlfriends or the people that I was seeing that were girls couldn't really come into the house unless it was serious. So like my first girlfriend, we were together the longest compared to everyone else except my current girlfriend, and she never met my parents. Basically a lot of the time I did have to drive, so that's not their fault. I'm from England, but I have lived here since 2005 in Australia, so I've got like a mixed accent. So South Australia, from Adelaide. So yeah, so I'm English and Australian. So yeah, this girl lived on the other side of the city and it just was annoying, but again, it just didn't work out. It had nothing to do with distance really at all. Just fizzled out, and she went back to Victoria, which is a different state, and I was like, nope, not doing that. It's just, it didn't work in Adelaide, so why would it work in Victoria? I'm trying to think what order it went. There were a few people here and there, no one's serious, went on a few dates. I've kind of dated long distance, really long distance. So as I said, I'm English. For the fun of it, when I was at a friend's house, I changed my settings on a dating app to England, and because I was going back to see my family and all that, and I started talking to a girl who is now my ex, and we were just friends for quite a while. She made it quite clear that she wasn't ready, and that was all good. Didn't pressure her whatsoever, I hope. And yeah, but eventually it just became more of that, and then we were together and we were just doing the long distance. That was really hard. A lot of Skype was involved. I can do a bigger video on that particular relationship because that's probably the most challenging with long distance. We broke up before I went, which was annoying because we'd booked some things, and she's like, yeah, we'll still do it all, like it's all fine, we're still friends. And I was like, yeah, that's brilliant, it just broke my heart. So then I still went over, and I was like, this isn't going to happen, I'm not in the mood, I don't want anything to happen, it's too much drama, I don't want to be involved. And we kind of really clicked, and it was basically what I call a summer fling now, because it kind of was. It was just 3 weeks, and we spent a lot of time together in that 3 weeks. I put her in front of my family quite a lot actually, which I probably shouldn't have done. And then we came back, and it was basically, we both didn't have anywhere to go from that trip. We didn't have anything to aim towards. So I think that and our mental state at the time just put us to the end, which is fine, it happens. We both grew and we're both in better places and better relationships now. But she's like, honestly, she's a really good friend. I hope these people still think I'm friends with them, because I hope anyway. But no, honestly, I really, really like her. I mean, I wouldn't date him if I didn't like him. Like, they're all really good people. I just didn't work. So yeah, I hope one day at least that we could be friends. I feel like I'm friends with all of them. Like, honestly, I don't have a bad word to say about any of them. I feel like I could go have a beer with all of them. So, except one. Except my ex-boyfriend. The one ex-boyfriend that I don't like. I could not. So before Millie, this was the one that, the reason why me and Millie didn't get together for quite a while, besides her getting over her ex, I wanted to get over this one. And she was about an hour away from Adelaide. It's really hard to date people in Adelaide. It's a very small community. It was very hard to find people to date. There's literally only one gay club in Adelaide, if that gives you... Like, it's not a country town by any means, but it's just not a big gay community either. This fly needs to go. I don't know why I've got a lighter. Yeah, so she was an hour away. It just fizzled out. Don't actually know why we ended. This is why it took me a while with Millie to trust her enough to let us start dating, because I didn't really trust after this particular girl. She didn't actually give me a reason really of why we broke up, because I knew the reason that she gave me wasn't right. So I don't want to sound bad, but there was more to it than she was letting on, I think. If you want to know, just anything that you want to know, just honestly comment. I will do further video on everything, because my life has been quite busy. Because that's not really long distance. An hour probably is it? I don't know. So yeah, that brings me to Millie. Me and Millie did meet in person, which is basically the only person except my ex-boyfriends that I met in person. And so I thought she was from Adelaide because I met her in person, because I just thought. And she goes to me, like, you know, I'm from the York Peninsula. I went, yeah, because I was playing it cool. I didn't really know where that was. I had no idea. Apparently I've been up here before, but I never knew that at the time. So then we were just friends, and I said, alright, well, you want to hang out? And I knew I'd be driving. She's like, yeah, alright then. And she was really nervous about it. And if you want to know the whole how we met video, Millie will do a video with me after I get a lot more subscribers, but she's very shy. So once I get more subscribers, I will do a how we met video, hopefully. Comment below that you want Millie in a video so she can see it, and that she will hopefully do one with me, because I really want to do one, because she's the hotter one. We met and she's like, I'm on the York Peninsula. So then I GPS'd it the day before I was going to come up here for the day, and said 2 hours from my house that I was living at with my mum and dad, and I was just like, shit, what the fuck have I done? It didn't make any sense, but I did it, and it was good. It kind of cemented the friend zone, apparently. I thought it went well, but apparently it just cemented the friend zone for Millie again. Yeah, if you want to know any more about that, then that's a whole video of how we began a relationship, because it took quite a while, because like I said, I was getting over my ex-ish, whatever she was, and Millie was still wanting to make sure that she was in a good place for a relationship. And then eventually started dating, and it was all good, and I had a job in Adelaide. Millie was up here having a job as well, and Millie's car could not make it down to Adelaide. It's really bad, a car, so it was my car doing the driving, and I was coming up here like 2 times a week, 3 times a week sometimes, so 2 hours there, 2 hours back. It was just ridiculous. And we moved in at 4 months, which is very, very early, and I'm quite committed quite quickly. I've always been like that. I always wear my heart on the sleeve, and I just think if you're not in a relationship to be with a person long term, and if you're not willing to do everything you can to be with them, you're not doing it right. That's just me. I'd rather be like how I am. We made the decision to move in together. So, and now we live with her family to save money, and eventually we'll be going back to Adelaide, because I am not a country person. Basically, this whole video has basically been a summary of my experience with long distance relationships. I need to do a more in-depth video, but I don't want this one to be too long. So if you've got any questions, comment down below, and I will answer them and try and make some more videos separate about each relationship maybe. I haven't gotten around, I promise. Right, I think that's the end of the video. Just comment, like, subscribe. So that's basically a summary of relationships pretty much there, without going into too much depth of the people. Any of them that you're curious about, even my first relationship with a girl, I can make a separate video about that. Just let me know. Alright, have a great day. Bye.